and I lost it. My mom keep telling me that I should stop it.
I want people to feel comfortable. I want them to enjoy. I want them to be able to disconnect. I want them to dance. I think most systems have problems. Sometimes I have to remind myself I'm only human, right? It is a choice to live. We're live.
Because someone gave me a board and I was like DJing and like I was like,
mine.
wait, yeah, I was like, how do I do this? And you were like, just do it.
I mean, there's like tips and tricks and things that people do that are the same patterns in it, but I would say it's an abstraction. Like the way that I DJ might not be the way that you DJ. And I think there's like an abstractness to it. And depending on what equipment you have. Like 2 weeks ago, I played on 4 boards at the same time. My board has 2 essentially CDJs in it and a mixer in the middle. It's an all-in-one board for technology access. And I think music in general is just abstract. Like I think it's a different medium. I'm learning production right now, but it's really hard for me because I don't inherently think of like music I've never heard before. Which is like me putting pen to a paper is different than me thinking about like a beat that I want to make, which I think is interesting. Simplicity is beautiful and creativity, I think. DJing can be that. Like it doesn't always have to be the most complicated thing. You don't have to be the best at the weirdest grouping of it. Like it's creating an energy, and however you do that is like cool. I bought this because for some reason I was like, I'm gonna read a book and that'll teach me how to be a DJ. I'm a first gen student though. Neither one of my parents went to college. That was something when I was growing up that was always a big deal for them, is for me to go to college when I graduated high school. I'm gonna sound so old. I graduated high school in 2014. I'm grateful for the education I have and that the education that I've ever received. Do I think it is worth the debt? Questionable. Do I use my degrees on a daily basis? Debatable. It taught me how to juggle a few different things at the same time.
What's the value of networking?
You never know who you're gonna walk into a room and meet, and you never know unless you go. And just seeing and meeting people, I would say who I know has helped me way more than, I don't know, they're different energies of like college versus like networking. I will say one benefit of college that I did find is you meet a lot of rich people. But a lot of wealthy people can afford to go to college. Their parents had gone to college, and it's great networking in that way. Also, some of my best friends are from there, and like I love them. Biggest things that has been a game changer has been networking, and it's not even like necessarily formal networking either. It's literally just like showing up. Like it's showing face. Like it's like putting an event on your calendar for a Wednesday night and actually going. I've always been an entertainer. Like I was a theater kid in high school. I was in all the musicals. I was in choir. Always been an artist. Worked with a lot of children that had a lot of severe trauma, and that like it's really
That's heavy.
That's heavy. I always wanted to study abroad. Always wanted to live abroad. I grew up flying for free. My dad worked for the airline, so I've been a lot of places, which I didn't realize was not as common for where we're from, but also like just in general, most people you can't just get on a plane. I could, and I've been doing that since I was a baby. I think my first flight was when I was like 2 years old. So I grew up loving travel. When I went to OU, they had a program that was focused in fine arts and music in London. So you would get all OU credit, and all of your financial aid would transfer as well because it was an OU program. I decided to go on that with my best friend, Bridie. And our professor was this guy named Andre Grabu. He is a famous pianist. This is all we did was go to musical performances. We went to shows. We went to art museums. Like we were doing our art history class in the British Museum.
The feeling of coming back after a life-changing trip, go back to Columbus, Ohio. Like what?
When I moved back from Europe, it was the rudest thing I'd ever experienced. Because I lived there for 6 months, so it wasn't like I was just like gone for like a few weeks or whatever. I lived there for months. And I will never forget when we entered back into the United States, and I flew into like Charlotte, South Carolina, like one of the Carolinas. The security guy had like a full-on Louisiana accent, like super deep South, and I was just like, oh my god, what the fuck? Because this is just like nowhere else on the planet.
It's like stepping into another world.
No, it really is. There's like science on that. Like that's like a real thing. But also like being able to see the world and being able to like have your own perspective and that other perspective is so valuable. Having respect for different cultures, I think it's like a huge, beautiful thing to have respect for, but also like be able to see the beauty in other people's in other cultures. And I like being able to bring that perspective here. No shade to Ohioans. I find a lot of Ohioans specifically don't ever leave here.
Yeah.
Since I have been so fortunate to be in so many places and so many things, I do think that that is another reason that I'm such a community person. And you can bring that here and you can do that. One of my personal strengths, I think, is being a natural host. And I think DJing is just like another limb of that. I mean, you're owning a room, you have to be around, you're around people you don't know, literally on a stage, making the energy and the vibe for people. Ironically though, when I was working as a bartender and a server, I got the idea of becoming a DJ at that point.
Really?
Yeah, I always used to say to people that I think I thrive the most in a dirty nightclub. Like, people are people and you're being seen. And you're sharing your energy, right? Like,
Right. I've said this before, but I'm just gonna say it now. When you play, it feels like you're manifesting. Like, it feels like not only just great music, it feels magical. Like, I just get in such a flow in the moment fully.
that's what I try to do with my sets. And I think I do. It's like a freeing place, and like I'm just a girl. Like, I'm just going, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just having fun. Like, it's one of the only hobbies I've ever stuck with in my life, too. I was dating a man who I really, really was in love with, thought I was going to spend my life with, wanted to spend my life with. Unfortunately, that relationship ended in a really awful way. So I was in this very, like, big life change, basically, at a time. I finally was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I have nothing to lose. I posted that I, like, started mixing. Was I great? No. I just did that, but a lot of people were excited because I was hosting shows and making these cool things. And Jonathan Strong reached out to me and was like, I want to book you on a show. And I was like, you realize I just started playing? Like, I'd literally only been DJing like 2 months and I got booked on a show, which is like...
That's awesome.
Very, very lucky for me.
Yeah.
I think it's because I do have so many connections and like have put other people on and like I've did everything backwards. I started as an event producer, moving to a DJ, which I think makes sense in some regard. It's definitely way more men on lineups. There's more men in the music industry, and I don't have like an exact stat, but it's definitely way more male dominated.
How does that feel being in a male dominated industry?
If there's one girl on a lineup, a lot of people are satisfied with that, and that's like kind of irritating as a woman in the music industry and somebody who's trying to be a change maker. I think there's been, unfortunately, with the political things that are going on right now, a move away from that, which has been really unfortunate, and I think people need to believe women. I like to get to know people before I work with them a little bit, because I have worked with people that I don't particularly enjoy or treat me differently because I'm a woman. The thing that I've had that's been uncomfortable is sexism, which I would say is sexism. Telling them they're DJing wrong. People give each other tips, but I feel like it's different. Like DJing a show that was 2 hours long. First person their USB couldn't work or whatever. So I was DJing for 2 hours. The crowd was going really great. And the guy that came up after me goes, your trim is up way too high. And I was just like messing with it. Like, and I just messed with it. And I was like, I would never walk up to you and say that. Walk up to somebody that's like actively performing and like try to help.
What's the indicator that a project or group you're associating with is kind of not for you anymore? And how do you navigate escaping that?
Well, one thing that I find is my time is actually very valuable. Our society's so quick. Like, everything's so fast. And
it is so fast. I mean, time is slipping away. I went to Paris and got back, and I don't know if it's just a here thing, but it almost feels like they're stealing our time.
Yeah. It's 100% capitalism is stealing our time. Government is stealing our time. And that's why it's like it's so valuable.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I should be paid for what I'm doing. I should be, like, if it is for somebody else, there is things that you can negotiate. And
yeah, your creative callings.
And it's not always a quick skill to learn either.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's taken me years to feel confident in that. And I still don't always feel confident. I still don't sometimes know how much money to ask for. I still don't know what my worth is all the time. But can I try? Yeah. Don't deserve to be paid less than other people. I don't deserve to take on other people's work and not be compensated. I will say, I think people sometimes have tried to like shorten me on like payments or like shorten me on things. And it is, I would say, inherently sexist. I don't know if they're doing that to men. And I also think men get a lot more grace in a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of guys in the Columbus scene that, for example, have been called out for like domestic violence. Are they still getting gigs? Yeah. Some of them are. Wow. And I don't think someone's crimes should haunt them forever. You know, like, they learn their lesson. At the same time, though, it's like there has to be some sort of level. Navigating relationships that I've not, or people I don't want to work with, sometimes it's just simply that. It's like, it's not that I don't like you as a person, it's just that I don't want to work with you anymore.
Right.
And I don't have to. And that's cool. And I can make that decision for myself, which I think is cool. I do DJ. I almost work almost 6 times a week in general right now. And so it's like picking and choosing. And like, it's like, is it my well-being? Is it me needing money? Is it me doing this? And finding some sort of balance within that.
What would be your advice to someone trying to get the courage of like, even just escaping a friendship or like escaping some situation that you know no longer serves you.
It's not always easy, and it's not always linear, and it's not always fast. I think if you're feeling a certain way, sit in that feeling for a second, take a few days, and if you still feel the same way in a few days, you should do something about it. If you're just in the moment and you're irritated and like whatever, that's probably not the best time to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I think it takes time to learn that. Like, I think giving yourself grace is another thing. Like, why does someone expect me to do this when they're not even doing that? I try to like bargain with myself to some extent because I've always been like an overachiever and like will try to go above and beyond for people. And like sometimes that's been great, sometimes it hasn't. A word of advice for anybody that's looking to be able to say no is, again, give yourself a 3-day grace period. If you can go 3 days and you feel the same way, probably should do something about it. If you go 3 days and you forget and it doesn't matter anymore, probably should just let it go. What is it doing me living in anxiety and fear? Nothing. Actively choosing to live is one of the best things that you can do for yourself. If I want to live my life, I have to do what I want. And I have to be a little fearless sometimes. And it's still figuring it out. Just remembering that you're only human and you're still learning. And your first thing might not be your last thing, but it might be a bridge.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Amsterdam.
Been locked in, I got the pulse on freeze. I'ma go hard like a fight machine.